When the weight of the world comes crashing on my shoulders, I keep pushing on, cause I know I'm getting closer. Just believe in me, and this is my dream. So take me or leave me, love me or hate me, but you ain't never gonna change me.
Extra Beats.
Hi, I'm Joseph Ward, and welcome to another episode of Live Skilled Television. I'm the founder of Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled, which is a comprehensive life skills training and sexual and domestic violence prevention program. Our goal is to give information and resources that will help uplift and empower our clients, our communities, and everybody that we come in contact with. It's been a while since I did a video, but I've had a lot of inspiration to start back doing these videos, and I think it's very important that I do this work. So here I am, and I just plan on moving forward with these videos. So today, I'm going to cover the culture of rape and why we allow it to exist. Once again, the culture of rape and why we allow it to exist. In my opinion, the culture of rape is any culture that will help foster ideas, mindsets, cultural and social norms that will allow rape to exist, that will create environments where rape can exist. And think about it, for rape to exist as a culture, that means people have to buy into the ideas that create that culture, right? Because a culture cannot exist if the people don't take in the ideas and buy into the ideas and use those ideas to create a way of life. And remember, a culture is a way of life. Through your culture, you get your social norms, right? So, an example of rape culture will be someone saying that a woman deserves to be raped because of her outfit, because her outfit was so revealing that she deserved to be raped. Now, the deeper cultural aspect is when men and women buy into the idea that a woman should be raped because someone thought her outfit was inviting, which is totally sick. The culture of rape does affect men and women behind closed doors and out front in the open. And one of my goals is to expose all of the information behind closed doors, but also bring understanding to the information that's out in the open. So another example of the culture of rape is you have a uncle who lives in the uncle or aunt, grandfather, grandparent, family member, somebody who lives in the house with younger children, and other members of the house know that that person is molesting the children or other members of the family, but nobody does anything about it because they either don't want to get that person in trouble or that person may provide something that's vital for their household, so they will continue to allow that act to exist. And that can be passed down from generation to generation because people could see that as a norm. So that's how a culture of rape exists, when people see these acts as a norm within a certain part of the environment. Now, that's not saying that everybody in America or everybody in the world buys into rape culture, but enough people buy in for it to exist. Another example will be, if a woman acts like a hoe, I'm going to treat her like a hoe. Right? Now, that's mostly what I hear, what I hear men saying about women. Well, if a woman carries herself in a less desirable way, I'm going to treat her as if she's less than human. I'm going to treat her as if she's lower than trash. Now, if you call yourself a man, then I don't even see how you can have those two ideas existing in your head at the same time, because my definition of a man, and this is strictly for the guys right here, my definition of a man is someone who uplifts and empowers, especially the women. Our women are vital to our survival as a species. You know, and think about how vital our women are to the nurturing of our next generations. So if we allow our women to be scarred, bruised, and battered, don't you think they're going to pass that down to the next generations, especially if men are not raising the kids like they're supposed to, and that's become social and cultural norms in itself, but that's another topic for another time. But the culture of rape, think about it. You have a person in the household, and everyone in the household understands that this person is committing these sexual deviant acts against members of the family, but nobody does anything about it because they either don't want to get that person in trouble, or that person provides something that they feel like they can't live without. So it happens. I've even heard stories about guys infecting young girls with HIV and other diseases because he was allowed, or that family member was allowed to have those sexual deviant acts with the younger female members of the household. And I mostly hear this about younger female, but let's not act like this don't happen to men. We don't talk about the culture of rape when it comes to men, because I'm not going to say it's at a deeper level. It's different. So for men, if I'm raped, especially if I'm raped by another man, who do I tell? Do people take me serious if I'm raped? And if I do tell people, will I be ridiculed for the act because people would think I'm less than a man? In certain environments, that is looked at as a weakness, and I hate to say that, but it is. It's looked at as a weakness, and so a lot of times, what do men do when they're raped? And that's a question that many people can't answer because they never thought about men being raped, right? But men are raped as well. But these acts are kept, disclosed because it's something that hasn't become okay to just come out within the male culture. And see, that's something that we have to deal with, but that's why I want to hit up on these topics dealing about these social and cultural norms. But the culture of rape and why it exists. America itself was built on the culture of violence, and rape was in the culture, was a part of that culture. The indigenous women were raped. The African women were raped. The Native women were raped. Throughout the Caribbean and in the states, United States and South America and Central America, rape was something that was used as a tool of war. It's been normalized within our culture. Let's analyze each and everything that we do. Let's analyze each and everything that we say. Let's don't just be quick to judge somebody. Let's also not be quick to condemn people either. I know that's one of the issues within the culture of rape that a lot of men have is the idea or the controversies that surround false reporting. Now, stats say that false reporting only usually happens 2 to 3% of the time. But it happens. False reporting does happen, so we cannot act like it doesn't happen, but we're not going to say that false reporting is a huge percentage because all the information that we have shows that false reporting happens between 2 and 3% of the time. But we want to be able to help protect people on both sides. I want to make sure young men understand that you need to be careful about the actions that you take when you're dealing with someone in a sexual manner. Same thing with young women. You need to be careful. Be more thoughtful. Ask more questions. Take your time. Understand that there's a culture of rape that exists, that surrounds us, that we have to start challenging. You have to start challenging your social and your cultural norms because they could affect you in a negative way. Rape exists because we allow it to. Rape exists because we make excuses for it to exist. Same thing with domestic violence. We make excuses for it to exist instead of dealing with it head on because a lot of the times we don't want to get people in trouble or we don't want to disrupt our lives or other people's lives. And I understand that. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. But what I'm doing, my intent with this video is to is to bring light to the culture of rape, and let's start asking questions. Let's start having more adult conversations. Let's stop being distracted by other things that take us away from dealing with the real issues within our cultures, within our communities. If you're a man, our job is to uplift and empower our women. If you're a woman, your job is to, be a complement to the men, uplift and empower the men as well. We have to start working as a unit, not just in the black community, but all other communities. But especially in the black community, we have to start working as a unit to help eliminate this culture of violence that we have. So I'll come back later with, and go a little deeper into the subject of the culture of violence. But this video is intended for you to start thinking about the culture of violence and why it exists within your area. What are you doing to challenge the culture of violence? And did you even understand that a culture of violence and a culture of rape existed? Because if you didn't, that's one of the purposes of this video, is to bring that to light, that the culture of violence exists. And cultures exist because we accept ideas and concepts. And a lot of times we accept these ideas and concepts without even thinking about it. Why do you say, if a woman acts like a hoe, I treat her like a hoe? Why is that acceptable to you? Think about it, because if it was the women in your family, you would have a fit. Think about it. I'm Joseph Ward, the founder of Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled. For more information about me, about Live Skilled, Live Fulfilled, or about sexual and domestic violence, you can visit my website at www.liveskilledtraining.com. See y'all next time.
When the weight of the world comes crashing on my shoulders, I keep pushing on, 'cause I know I'm getting closer. And I just believe in me, and this is my dream. So take me or leave me, you love me or hate me, but you ain't never gonna change me.
Epistruggle Beats.